All right, guys, making a quick video about the last video I made. It got a lot of comments. Some of them were pretty negative. I did a comparison between the GoPro Mission 1 and the DJI Action 5 Pro. And I got some, oh, you're a DJI shill. And boy, they were hating. There were some people, a couple people that were just hating on me. Oh, you just hate DJI. You're really looking for something wrong with that camera. You're really nitpicking that camera. I was like, yeah, dude, it's like more than twice the price of the other ones. More than twice the price. Yeah, I'm going to nitpick it. You know, but I wasn't even nitpicking. I was just showing the overexposure was an issue. And look at some of the other ones that are coming out now. They're starting to say these things, but they weren't before. Before, everyone was like, oh, it's the best camera in the world. Oh. But then they're like, yeah, now you're seeing some of the quirky things, right? Overexposure, the grass effects. There was some issue with the artifacts, right? Even at the highest bit rate. You know, when DJI Action 5 Pro had that, they rose their bit rate, and it works fine. But the bit rate on the GoPro Max is like 264 and it's still doing it. So there's an issue there. There was an issue with the effects of the grading, like where the shadow and the light matched, right? And the shadows were fine. Did seem to overexpose on the highlights, but some certain scenes, but it was kind of did its own thing, you know, with that. I even had it kicked down a little bit on my exposure, but it was where the shadows and the highlights met. You know, it would like a glittery, it would be like a moire. It had like a moire issue. And I'm not saying it's going to happen all the time or it's going to be an issue for you. It's probably a little bit here or there. It's probably not going to be a big deal. But I'm just saying, I noticed these things. I gave pros and cons, the things I liked about it and the things I didn't. Right? Like the front touchscreen on the Mission 1 Pro. The front touchscreen, it's smaller than the Action 5 Pro. Right? And it doesn't work like the touchscreen wise. So it's smaller and you can't touchscreen it. Like it's twice the price. Why can't you put a screen on the front that you can use so you don't have to turn the camera around and play? The back screen's fine, it works good. It's a little bit bigger. So that's great. But it also does not have any built-in storage, which usually isn't an issue for me. But when the Action 6 at half the price has inbuilt storage, and you got to compare those things. Like, yeah, dude, like it doesn't have built-in storage, but the other ones do. So I bring these things up. You know what I mean? Is the image quality slightly better on the Mission 1 Pro? Yeah, it is. It's slightly better. Is it leagues better? No, it's not. You know, it's not. The Pocket 3 has better image quality than the Mission 1 Pro. 100%. It just does, right? And today I'm shooting on the ZV-E10 II with the 9mm Viltrox 2.8, and for the price of a Mission 1 Pro and the Mission 1 Pro microphones, you're going to be $800, guys. You're going to be $800 because it's like $741 with tax. But by the time you get the microphone in there, you're $800. I bought my ZV-E10 II, which is what I'm shooting on now, for $800. You know, this is a $140 lens. $140 lens, guys. And I'll show you the picture of it. This is my setup. No wires and blah, blah, blah. All right, I got the Godox thing. It works just the same thing as DJI. No wires, you plug it in, it automatically recognizes it, and you got sound. So, but for a couple $100 more, you're getting, if quality, they're saying, well, Mission 1 Pro, the biggest thing about it is the quality is so great. It's like, this is what cinematic, right? This is what, you know, cinematographers are going to use. Like Steven Spielberg's going to buy a Mission 1 Pro. Right, Steven Spielberg's going to buy a Mission 1 Pro, and he's going to shoot his big multi-$100 million videos with him, get Mission 1 Pro, when he's got all these other options and $100,000 cameras. Like, come on, who are you fooling? Like, I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying it's a bad camera. It's a great camera. If the same price as the Action 5 Pro, yeah, I'd buy that instead. But it ain't. It's more than twice as much. I could buy an Action 5 Pro and Insta360 Ace Pro 2. I could have 2 action cameras going for the price of 1. Just saying, guys. And I'm looking forward to the Insta360 Luna. I think that's going to be cool. I think that thing is going to be sweet because it's got the built-in image profiles, kind of like the ZV-10 II, right? I got acetone. I don't have to mess around with colors. I don't have to play with that stuff. You know, I don't buy an action camera so I can go through and do log and color grade and do this and that and best. You know, action camera for me, I was hoping it'd be the next step up, like Pocket 3 quality in an action camera. Mwah, perfect. But it wasn't quite there. It's not quite there. The Pocket 3 has better quality. So I don't want to spend all that time grading. And if image quality is your number one thing, then get a ZV-E10-2 or ZV-E10-1, right? And I use Gyroflow, which is what I'm using now, right? So if I don't, obviously the stabilization is no good. But if I put Gyroflow on it, guys, it's a free. It works way better than Catalyst Browse, just so you know. It's a couple clicks. It's one more step. But your image quality is going to be far greater than the Mission 1 Pro. But without the frame rates. And I'm not saying the Mission 1 Pro is a bad camera. Let me add with this. It's like, it's a great camera. I like it. I would use it. But I'm not going to pay twice as much for it than what I already have. Like, you can get a used Action 5 Pro right now, or actually a new one, I believe, on eBay. It's like $289. $289, guys. Like, how can I justify paying $700 for that when I can get an Action 5 Pro? You know what I mean? You know, I think a good combo is like a pocket camera and an action camera, like a Pocket 3 or maybe the new Luna and an action camera. That's a good combination. Or even like this APS-C camera paired with the action camera, because then you can kind of do both. You can do different weather conditions. And if you like color grading and you love those frame rates, that's great. I'm not saying it's not a good buy, right? If that's what you need, right? If those frame rates are cool. I played with those too. I thought that was an awesome thing. But it just ain't worth it for me, because I'm not going to use those frame rates enough to justify paying more than twice as much. And with some of the little quirks and glitches and issues that it has, guys, it's like the company is not doing well either. And like with that, with all that combined, I'm like, you know, who's going to buy them out? Are they going to be able to honor warranties? You know, I just don't know. And I'm like, you know what, for me, it ain't worth it. I'm just going to go with what I like, go with what I know. The jump on quality was not big enough for me to justify. And maybe it is for you, but that's all coming out now. Some of these people are starting to say, no, there was an exposure issue, right? So you look around at some of these newer ones, right? Of course, you can make it look great and make it look cinematic if you put enough time and effort into it. You can make any camera 10 years ago. You can take the ZV-E10-2 or ZV-E10-1 used for $500 and make that thing look amazing, right? If you want to put your time into it, but it's an action camera, guys. I'd get a ZV-E10 with a lens and the microphones for less than the Mission 1 Pro, if quality is what you really want. You know, I'm just saying, this is just my opinion, guys. I'm not saying it's a bad camera. I like the camera. There's good things about it. Image quality was fine. It was good. It's just not that much better. But that's my opinion. I'm just giving it to you. You can take how it is. I just want to let you know, there's two people who watch the videos, right? There's the one who wants their purchase verified. They're saying, oh man, I want only hear good things because it makes me feel good about what I bought. And there's the second person, which is like, yeah, I just want to see a non-biased review of the pros and cons so I can make a decision for myself. And that's kind of who I make videos for. And if the other ones want to jump on it and watch it, that's great. And you want to complain about it, that's great, because I have a hard shell and I can take it. And I'm happy about it because it motivates me to make another video. So keep going, keep hating on it, because it motivates me to make more videos. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you motivating me to make more videos. And the good thing about like this, the 9mm Viltrox lens, this is only a 2.8, not even a 1.7, which I could use the 15mm 1.7 and give it even a lower aperture. But in this, see, I can even crop in because it's an APS-C sensor, right? So, but then you can use it for talking heads and it works great and it looks wonderful. So that's why I think a pocket camera and an action camera, or an APS-C camera and a pocket camera and an action camera, any one of those two or three combinations, whatever, APS-C and action, or all three, or pocket and an action. Because pocket you can get enough. You can get it good enough. But for the action, but for the talking heads, you could put the 15 on here and you'd get like a 22 equivalent, which would be a little bit better for the talking head. But I can crop in on this and still make it look decent. But I'm just curious what you think. How is this looking for the talking head? The 9mm, right? It's obviously not meant for that. It's like, the edges are woo. But if you crop in a little bit, you can get that, still get that talking head look. And with APS-C, you have that room to crop in, because right now you don't have to have it on stabilization or anything. Okay, you're talking about probably, you say $1,000, $900 some all in. $900 some dollars. So you're talking about $200. You said $200 more, 200, 250 to get the APS, to move up to, I mean, that's a big jump for 250. I'm just saying. But I mean, you're not really comparing the two because that's an extra camera and this is not. But, you know, just if image quality was your main concern, just saying. Just wanted to throw this extra nugget out there for you. I've just given my honest opinion. You can take it or leave it. It's up to you. I've used a lot of cameras. I use a lot of cameras. And I just give my basic opinion on what's good for me. I like value. I like ease of use. And the convenience, and that's what I like. That's what I look for. So if you want something different than that and get the best image quality, you know, for the money kind of thing is what I'm, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. That's my game, you know. That's what I look for. So if that's kind of what you're looking for, then I'm going to try to steer you, you know, hopefully my information is good for you. Anyways, I pray you guys have a wonderful day. Have a nice one. Bye.